Hello everyone, and once again a warm welcome back to the DrMBalmer channel. So to continue on where we left off in the last part 4, I have found a project box for the TP4056 USB-C charging board, and it's made by some Fuchs. Um, it seems to be written in Polish, I think. So I don't know exactly what it says, but it doesn't matter. Um, and Remix allowed, commercial use, etc. So attribution, though, yeah, to Adam. Check out his page on Printables for more interesting 3D models. However, so this project box looks promising because, well, let's zoom in a bit, shall we? Yeah, I found it interesting because it seems to have a couple of holes here for connectors. I don't have such connectors, I think, but we should be able to just improvise something. So there should be two holes here pre-cut, and then there is like a bed for the actual circuit board. And there are two versions of the cover for this. One which has a hole in it. I suppose that's for seeing the charge LED inside. And then there is a version that does not have a hole. And then we also have the main body, which looks like something like this. We have the USB-C port cut out, and yeah, two round holes, and then we have sort of standoff for the cover. And well, it looks interesting, I think. So I did download this and spent some time modifying it a little bit because well, I wanted to have some kind of ventilation because this board gets pretty hot. Or, well, it's not super hot, but there is some heat, and if I print this in PLA, then I thought that maybe it's a good idea to have some ventilation. So what I did, so unfortunately I accidentally deleted the files, the recordings of my modifications in 3D Builder. However, what I did was I created a honeycomb pattern on the left and right side here, um, to allow for some ventilation. And then in the cover, I made a cutout for a fan, a 40mm fan, the one that we had a look at the very end of the last part in this series. So yeah, I have some modifications made, and we shall start off by attempting to print out the modified project box and accessories.
this appendix. Yeah. It's a pretty nice case. I got some signs here of the cutting and pasting stuff, but all in all, yeah, this came out pretty nice actually. Great. Alright, let's see if things fit. Right, so before doing too many other things, let's sort all of this out. So yeah, the idea being that well, basically this one should be soldered onto, let's see here, onto these, and then this should go inside here. The question is, will things fit? Like this circuit board, it's a pretty tight fit actually, but I suppose it can be, yeah, it should slide in there. But before we do, yeah, maybe we should solder the fan to it. Also, the cable might be a bit long, since let's see here if this lid fits as well. Yeah, it actually does. It doesn't stick too hard, but I mean, it keeps itself in place, and then we'll have the fan and the protection, finger protection. Although it's not needed because this fan is pretty weak, but especially at the USB 5 volts, there won't be a lot of airflow because this is a 12-volt fan. And we could of course either turn it this way and make this into a negative pressure case, sucking air through all these holes, or we can have it a positive pressure by pushing air in and blowing it directly onto the circuit board. I think we'll go for the positive pressure system here. So yeah, the cable is pretty long actually, and it only needs to be about maybe this long or something like that in reality to fit the, so we don't get too much cable, loose cable. But at the same time, I do need some slack to be able to well, yeah, the cable needs to go through this, I suppose, and so I have to undo it here maybe. And then in some way, once I get this in place, the so I need about, maybe I can cut off like maybe here and just solder it to this and then push this in. Or should I have a connector so I easily can replace the fan or something? It would be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe it would be nice to have a connector. So the question is, should we make connectors out of these? Well, it wouldn't be too bad, I suppose, to have those. So that's one idea. I guess. Do I have any other connectors? I have a standard fan connector. But it's pretty bulky and it's three wires. We could of course create a connector like this, but it's pretty bulky. So maybe, yeah, I shall look around a bit and see if I can find any other connector types. So no, I didn't really find any other connector types currently. So let's go for these JST 2.0 XH 2.0 connectors. So yeah, you know the drill by now, I think. So we will create a cable and I will probably time-lapse this to save you some time and allow you to listen to some of the amazing music that I have chosen for you. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. So yeah, enjoy the show. Right. Okay, so this part was important now because before we slide this circuit board into the case, we needed to have the cables here. And also the output side, we should fix that as well. So we have the battery plus and battery minus here on the inside, and yeah, so those should be connected to output plug, which we have to create. But that one I won't create a connector for. Maybe I will just attach wires, I suppose. The connector is this one, and yeah, so basically we should have some wire, and this is what will come out of these protrusions. I didn't measure the size of these holes. Maybe I should have done that so that I could get this in and out of the box in some way. But okay, it will come out of there. I don't know how long it has to be, because we still have USB input on this side. And then, well, I want a decent sized cable anyway, I suppose. To plug it into the... yeah. So let's cut some wire. Maybe this length. Some anode wire. It's so neatly packaged, I don't want to destroy it. Right. And yeah, let's go strip these. And they should go there, and then we should strip the other side as well, so we might as well do that. So, okay. Yeah, let's put some solder onto those. and we want center positive. So let's start with the negative. Oh. Got a very large blob here. Okay, we could of course add, for some extra insulation, we could add maybe one of these on the positive terminals, say. It seems more exposed. This too thin, however. So okay, we can. This is a bit larger diameter. Use that. Yeah, and then we can just give it a squeeze. So yeah, this should be a center positive. Lead. Maybe we can put some hot glue in here later on. Now, since this will go directly through the battery, we shall connect this to battery plus and battery minus respectively. Oh, hang on a minute. Now I forgot something, of course. We have to put the cables through the holes here. Yeah. So that was nice. Allow me to undo the cables. Yeah, I sort of got holes again here, so it should be good, but yeah. When you forget things, you forget them. So we got the positive will be on the right and negative to the left. So all right. So let's basically, well, I haven't, I hope this fits. Let's try to push this in. See if it actually works. If it actually fits. It's very tight. That much I can say. Maybe I need to trim this one a bit. It's not too easy though. Lifting it up a bit, that tab. Yeah, I really have to apply some force, haven't I? But I think we're almost there. Well, maybe... Let's see here. These tabs here. So, this tab and this where it says M don't seem to fit inside. Maybe it wasn't the idea. Maybe I don't have the exact same circuit board, or should I have cut them off? But the board itself, we have the USB port here. Well, I suppose this could be like this. Maybe I should have cut the tabs off, but now I won't get this module off very easily. So I will leave it like that if it works. We have to test, of course, if the USB-C is connectable. So let me try it. Yeah, it does connect. So that's a start. And let's just measure the output voltage. So I will zoom out. And we shall make sure this is center positive. Oh, it was on ohms. Sorry. Yeah, 4.12 volts. So it seems to be sort of correct. And the USB port works, which is nice. I was a bit worried here with the angled circuit board, but okay. And then we could just heat shrink this here. Let's try that. Yeah, just like a simple little cable holder. Yeah. So now then, the fan is here, and yeah, this turned out to be pretty long anyway. Maybe I will cable tie it to those other cables here and put it on one side here, and then we should be able to connect. Well, we need to shorten this a lot now, and instead attach one of these connectors. So let's do that, and I'll put this aside, and we shall maybe do something like that. Hopefully I wasn't too optimistic now about the lengths. unpeel these. Oh, this didn't get unpeeled. Okay, so this one does not want to peel, so I do like that, and I want these little stumps, and we shall place them on the black and red lead respectively. And yeah, basically let's tin these. Okay. Yeah, that took a bit of time. Sorry about that. I had a blob kind of issue. So, well, if we want, so the fan will spin this way, and if we want the air to move in, we have to turn it this way around. And yeah, we could it's a very long lead still, actually. So, but anyway, we could grab one cable tie. Well, it isn't exactly extremely short, but it's green. However, we shall be okay with that. So, something like that. Perhaps. And then well, this turned out extremely long. So let's see how we can fold it. It could be something like this. So yeah, maybe have it go under these cables, just so it won't move around too much inside. And then if we connect, hopefully we have the polarity correct now. At least the black and red wires are aligned, which is always a sign of something, which really it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I could place a little bit of a hot glue maybe, just to keep things neatly in place. Yeah, I think we have soldered all the things actually. So allow me to clean the bench up a bit here, and I shall bring in the hot glue gun. And I'm back. So I did manage to get a couple of things actually. So I did manage to get some multicolored heat glue gun sticks. That's one thing. The other thing is I received this from AliExpress or Temu. It was very cheap. It is very cheap, but you know. And I suppose this goes this way maybe. It should be a holder for, I don't know, should I? Maybe that's not necessary. It should be a holder for hot glue guns. So you can drip on this little tray here. So let's try that out. But also, so if I want to use a black one, and let's say right now this is pretty stuck in there, but maybe I can heat this up and we can try to change the the hot glue gun rod. So this is clearly shorter. It's only this long, while the translucent one goes all the way in here, so it's not as long as the ones I got there, but okay, it should be sufficient. So what do I want to do? I want to place some hot glue gun just to keep things in place here, and maybe put some hot glue into this one, just as a cable retention thing. And what else? Well, yeah, I also want to put some hot glue into this one, and maybe under that charge chip, and yeah, just keeping these leads in place, maybe. Maybe put some hot glue somewhere here. So yeah, we shall hot glue a couple of stuff. I can remove this solar panel first, so it will be a little bit easier to navigate around this. It's heating up. Let's see if we can... Oh yeah. So I got this rod out. And let's try to... Is it the same diameter? Yeah, it should be 7 millimeters. Let's put this aside. We could actually have use for it, so... Oh, it's dripping. So let's allow it to drip onto this thing here. And let's see when we get some black black glue, I should say. Well, actually it's just plastic, but... So I will put a bit of a blob in here. Accidentally got some on the side here, on the rim, but that's okay. Yeah, I got some goo over there, and then maybe we can put a little bit over here as well. So far it's all transparent. Oh, it didn't stick too well currently. Blowing some air onto it to help it cool faster. Yeah. Oh, it didn't cool yet. So I'll hold it like this for a little while then. Right. I will leave it to cool like this. And I don't see the black stuff coming yet. So let's move over to this one. And start by well, we can apply some hot glue in here. To keep the cables in place, and then apply some hot glue there. And ow, it was a bit hot. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem. And I actually want to measure how hot this gets when I'm charging the cell, so I will try and attempt that. So these leads, maybe I can put a blob there. Allow it to cool for a second. Oh, too few seconds. I should have like a fan or something to cool down heat glue. So far it's not black, at least. So there is some transparent glue inside of this yet. But while this cools down, then, well, first of all, this stand is not heavy. That's the problem. I would like to have some solid lead under this base so it doesn't rotate too much. Yeah, and this comes off pretty nicely actually from the surface. So in that regard, yeah, there is actually a little hole there. It's not visible maybe, but you can screw it down to something. Currently I don't have anything to screw it down to, but yeah. Alright. So this has hardened, which is what we want. Let's place a little bit of glue over there. It has been a pretty fun project. If it works, we'll see. And I'm especially, well, I like this case. It turned out nicely, and although the print quality wasn't perfect in all instances, but maybe I should have used, for such detail, I should have used like not 0.2mm accuracy, but maybe 0.1 or something. But it's okay, it holds up. That's the important part on this channel. Ooh, yeah, we're getting some black stuff coming out now. But it's sort of mixed so far with the translucent one, or transparent one, whichever is more correct to say. The cell, right? So either turn it this way around. Let me zoom out a bit. This way around, or let's see here, if we place it this way around. Maybe it's better to do it this way. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, looks pretty neat. Oh, a cable mess. Right, let's put that aside. And now that we have some black heat glue coming out, let's try to fill this a bit. Yeah, so it's coming out a bit on the sides here, but that's okay. That's why we're here. Yeah, good stand. Actually, not bad. A little bit too light in the foot, but it was cheap as well, so right, but what remains now is to let's see here, get this installed, only I want it this way around. Right. And it should blow some air onto the charging chip there. How will I fasten it onto here though? Oh, I could put some black glue here as well on these holes. While this is still hot. Just to get some cable tension sort of thing going. This will of course force all the air out of these sides, but these are very perforated, so on both sides. I think I might, well, yeah, it looks good. Okay, let that cool for a little bit. Yeah, I need some. I have some. I managed to find these black screws, but I'm not sure if they're long enough for this fan, because this one will add some height to everything. Because in theory, these screws go inside of these countersunk sort of holes here, and they come out a little bit. But once I add, so I mean they should pierce into these holes of the lid. However, once I add this on top of everything, maybe that won't be the case anymore, because, well, so I'll have this much here, and then I place it there, and yeah, I'm not getting the screw to come out. So okay, that was not exactly how I wanted it. So the alternative would be to go for the, you know, go for this route with the zip ties. So let me choose for, let's see if they fit through the hole. Yeah, I can make that fit. And then we want maybe the end cap of that to be perhaps end up on the inside of this lid. So in that case, I would do something like this. However, how will I get it to stick? Well, okay, that, because I have to bend it somehow. I can of course bend it into the second hole. Right. And allow it to go through there. So let's have a closer look at this. It would look something like this on the outside. And then I would fasten it here like this. That is one option, I suppose. The other one would be to use these screws, but only under the... Yeah, that would be pretty neat to try. I will try it. I might ruin everything, but I always have the zip ties here at hand. But if I screw this in place, let's see here, this should be something like this. If I use these screws here, and then for the end cap I will place some hot glue maybe on the inside here, and then cover the holes here as well with some black heat glue. Maybe it will turn out okay. Let's try that. I want to see what happens. So I will connect the heat glue gun again, allow it to heat up. while we screw this in place and see if that works first of all. Maybe the screws aren't good. So allow me to refocus. Yeah, the screw stopped there, and it doesn't stick out too much. I could always place some heat glue, but it's not necessary. It's just a few 5mm maybe. It won't touch anything, but I can put some heat glue, of course. And then we should do this like this. And I don't need all 4 of them, of course, but I have 4, so. Right. This looks pretty sick. So, yeah, we can place some heat glue on it if it's ready. Have to refocus a bit though. Yeah. Now this is one heck of a charging cable for a lantern. But of course this, I'm thinking that if we do some other projects and which also require some lithium cell to be charged, we can use this charging cable and this DC plug and simply charge them. Yeah, seems to have dried. Now let's actually close the lid on this thing. Seal the deal. And if you decide to follow some of my more or less stupid inventions and projects, I would be very, very happy to know about it. So let me know in the comments if you do follow some of the projects that I've made, and make a video of your own and leave a comment, or even if you don't do a video, just take a picture or something and upload it somewhere and link it. Let me know how it went, and maybe if you do some improvements on my nice ugly creations. That would be very nice to see. And also, if you have if you do some 3D modeling yourself, if you upload it on the Printables or Thingiverse or something, do link there as well, and it would be nice to see. So yeah, let's see if this fan actually spins. First of all, so let's connect this. Oh, it does spin, and I can see the blue light because the fan is translucent. We can see the little red light blinking there as well, because we don't have any lithium cell connected. So this fan will of course draw some power, and it will reduce the amount of power available for charging the cell, but since this little chip will charge at 1 amp max, and this will draw maybe, I don't know how much, but not a whole lot on 5 volts, we should be fine with most USB chargers. So if you have a 2 amp charger, you should be plenty fine, and if you have a 1 amp charger, then of course, yeah, this could perhaps limit it to say 800 milliamps instead of 1 amp. But this fits pretty well. So yeah, this is just this translucent fan is just a 40mm Temu fan. I will see if I can find the links to everything. But yeah, let's place some heat glue on these sides here, and we shall oops, I got some on me. Let's see if we can put just a tiny blob in each hole here, in each corner. So maybe I got a bit much on one here, but maybe we could scrape it off a bit or flatten it with something. Yeah, actually this looks pretty sick. And it seems to stick, hold. So, I don't know if this will charge your e-bike, but well, I suppose if you have a 4.2 volt interface or something, 1 amp, then it should work. Okay, so there's that then. And well, I wanted to I can disconnect the hot glue gun, and yeah, I wanted to see, so how hot does this charge module get? And that's when we charge it with a USB-C lead, because that one goes into the lithium charging circuit inside. And for that purpose, I have acquired a device that looks like this. And it uses a Type K thermal probe. I haven't tried this out yet, so it's completely new. And I would have to, well, there's the thermal probe. I would have to somehow, well, I suppose I could glue it in place temporarily. And we got some display output. Battery symbol even. And we have a Celsius. So okay, let's close this up. Oh, I got hot glue everywhere now. This, like that. And yeah, we have a smaller hole there to the left and then a wider one to the right. So let's put it like this. Yeah. Well, 27.8 degrees. So let's put that there. And I will take my USB lead here and let's connect it. I hope everything is where it should be. It's definitely charging something. Now I don't have my special cable here to see what kind of current we're getting into this, but we can see that it is heating up currently pretty fast actually. And let's measure some time. Maybe let me fetch my timer. Now this cell wasn't completely empty either, but let's just do a test run here. We're at 37.3 degrees. Yeah, let's allow it to run for a bit and see where we end up. Because if it gets too hot, maybe that's not a good idea to charge it with this one, with the lithium cell so close nearby. So yeah, but at the moment the cell is cool. At least, so 38.4 degrees. And then of course I'm measuring now through the heat shrink tubing. so 10 minutes have passed, but in reality maybe 11 minutes then. And we're at 44.4 degrees. And I simulated the lid being closed, and well, let me have a feel. Yeah, I can feel that some chips are a bit are heating up. But yeah, once we opened the lid and poked about, we're back at 42 degrees. So let's close this up again for now and allow it to charge. And allow some more time to pass, and I will check back once again in a while. Right, so we're actually 20 minutes in then, and we have stabilized at around 43-44 degrees, it seems, and it's actually been dropping a little bit last couple of minutes. So after 20 minutes, I suppose the cell is getting closer to end of charge. It wasn't completely flat. Okay, I've turned off. But as the charge module starts to lower the charge current, it should in theory become cooler. And of course, yeah, in this room it's pretty hot. It was about, what was it, 27.8 degrees or something Celsius. So if you're charging it, I mean, during the summer it pretty much keeps itself charged with the solar cell, but in the winter maybe you shouldn't charge it in a negative temperature, but the cooler you have it, the better it will be. So yeah, but how good that we have a backup system then with this. We haven't tested this yet, but yeah, let's keep it running, and as long as we're in the mid 40s or maybe even high 40s, low 50s, we should be pretty fine, I think. But yeah, the only caveat here is that the cell wasn't flat. So it will actually it should spend a bit more time charging it at 1 amp. That is what I'm saying, that since the cell, once it's flat, the charge chip will flood it with 1 amp for a longer period of time, heating up rapidly, and then hopefully not too much. But in this case the cell wasn't flat completely, so it was maybe 3.8 volts or something. I don't remember what we had last time, but yeah, now we actually are dropping a little bit slowly. So yeah, but let's keep it running, and we'll come back to it in a few moments time again. Okay, so 40 minutes or so have passed, and we're down to 41.5 degrees. So I would say that this won't heat up anymore to higher values than this, or 43-44 degrees we had. It seems to hold the thesis that, or the theory that yeah, it's pretty cool to touch here. It's, well, I can feel it's a bit warmer than my finger, but, and as soon as we open it, we go back to 40 degrees or so. yeah, if I press it a bit closer so it closes in on the chips, it of course becomes hotter, because right now it just sits on top of the heat shrink tubing. The cell itself is pretty cool. So what I want to do is I want to disconnect the USB power, and we should see this rapidly decrease, of course. Now, so I don't want to charge this fully up just yet, because I want to test if this also works or not. But before we do that, let's just quickly try to check the voltage. Yeah, I need my other probes, maybe. Maybe I can borrow these ones. So without shorting anything out, that will be hard, I realize. Let's try to measure the voltage of the cell right now to see how charged it is. Yeah, 3.96 volts. So it's pretty charged. I want to discharge it pretty fully down to, well, 2.9 volts or something, and stuff like that. But let's try this out first. So I shall connect this to the connector here. And let's plug the USB in here and hope for the best. The fan is spinning and we have a red light, meaning that we should be charging it. And if I place my finger here, I can feel a slight breeze of air coming out of here. On the sides, yeah. It's very quiet, and we can see the charge status through the fan. And even if the fan would have been solid black, or it wouldn't have been a see-through fan, I think we would have seen the light anyway as the blades pass by. So yeah, it seems to be charging it. How great. Now, let's turn this on. Into the fully on mode. And I will reset this and let it count again the time, so we can see how much time has passed, and we can measure the cell voltage again and stuff like that. Point being to make it go down to 2.9 9 volts or so, maybe 2.7, 2.5, I don't know. Allow it to use up the stored energy here. And then we will seal the case again and put this on a charge through the USB interface that goes through the charge module inside, just to see how hot it gets, so that we don't do anything stupid. But it, as the test that we did, at least at 45 degrees, maybe. I mean, if I would have pressed it closer to the chips, yeah, maybe 50 degrees. That was okay. So, but the cell wasn't fully discharged. So let's do this again and allow it to discharge. But otherwise, yeah, great. So let's leave it to it for a while. All right, and 9 hours later, we have, I believe, reached a point where this is barely lit. So if I turn off some of the lighting here, maybe it's visible a bit better. It's more or less dimmed out. So let's conclude this here, I believe. I will stop this and I'll stop this. And we could have a quick look at the voltage of this cell. So I will try to measure it carefully. If I manage to get a connection. Yes, 2.56 volts. Yeah, so 2.56 volts. Now, it took about, well, 8 hours perhaps before we reached below 2.9, I suppose, and then the voltage falls off quickly on the voltage curve after that on lithium batteries. So now we want to charge this up again. I will maybe we just place this on top to cover it a bit, and we'll restart the timer in a second. And well, I have to connect the USB power to this. So let's have a look. We're starting off at 23.5 degrees. It's a bit colder today in this room than yesterday, where we had 27 point something. So let's just have a look that it actually charges. Yes, we can see a red light here, so that's good. So let's keep it semi-closed like this and charge it up. So, but yeah, we actually did a pretty useful real-time test on the runtime this time. So we got what was it, 9 hours, maybe 8 hours, and we started off at 3.9 volts on the cell, and so it wasn't fully charged, but perhaps in normal usage scenario where you have this outside, maybe it isn't going to be at 4.2 volts when, well, at dawn or dusk, I mean. And in that case, yeah, maybe 8 hours of runtime is what you can expect. And we had the constant on mode with all the LEDs lit all the time. But outside, I think I like the flaming mode. It looks a bit more like a candle from some distance, and it only draws about maybe 60% of that power that the constant on mode with all the LEDs lit. So it should last maybe 14 hours. Alright, but we can see that this is increasing pretty rapidly now. So we're generating some heat. And we're only 2.5 minutes in, and we're at 30 degrees. So, well, what can be said? And as far as this goes, I don't know if we have to measure the temperature inside of this case. It's pretty well ventilated, and it has a fan, so I think, yeah, we could put the probe there, but I suppose that the air that this fan blows will basically be the temperature that it registers. So maybe that's not a. But I'm really pleased with how this turned out actually so far. So yeah, it was great fun doing this. So 36.3 degrees, still increasing pretty rapidly. 1/10 of a degree every second or so. And we're 4 minutes into the charge. It will be interesting to see how long it takes for it to, well, taper off, and then it should reach, unless we get a thermal runaway scenario, we should reach some kind of well, logarithmically approach some temperature, and then as the charge current is reduced when the cell inside becomes ever more charged and nearing full charge, not only full charge, but even half a charge, then I believe the circuitry will lower the output current, which we saw in our previous tests where we measured the current. So yeah, 41 degrees almost on top of the heat shrink tubing, and 5 minutes in, so 41.2. Yeah, let's leave it running for a while and see how far it goes. Right, so 25 minutes have passed, and we're currently at 43 degrees. Unfortunately, this turned off as I left it on here, but it turned off by itself. But it seems that, yeah, right now we're at 43 degrees, and we seem to have stabilized there. And yeah, I don't feel this being hot at least, so yeah, so far so good. I think this is an acceptable temperature, but of course having an extra fan makes this look very cool. And cooler temperatures are always better. So but yeah, let's just keep it running and allow it to charge it fully, and we'll see how long it takes for a full charge. So yeah, let's leave it to it. Well, so just over an hour has passed, and we're down to 40 degrees basically. And I suppose we're still charging, so let me open this up. Yes, we have a red light there. Yeah, 39.9, looking good. So yeah, we'll keep going and see how long it takes for it to fully charge the cell. We know it's about a 1 amp hour cell in there, so if we just have that in mind, and I mean, after 1 hour we should have been able to push in about 1 amp hour if we would have charged it by 1 amp. But I suppose we are not, because we know that the current is reduced once the cell accumulates charge, so the voltage of the cell increases. So yeah, basically let's let it run and see how long it takes. Well, after yeah, 2 hours and 45 minutes, let's say, we're down to just below 30 degrees Celsius. And at this point, I think it's not pushing a lot of current into the cell, but it's still charging, I would suspect. So let's have a look. Oh no, it's actually green now. I checked a few minutes ago and saw that the temperature was about around 30 point something degrees, and I thought, okay, maybe it's nearing end of charge, and then it was still red, but now it's green, although it's not too visible that it's green because the heat shrink tube is yellow, so it looks kind of white actually. Yeah, okay, so let's stop this, and we can conclude that it will take 2 hours and 45 minutes to charge it fully, and the temperature should be okay with this 1 amp hour cell, at least, because it fills up its charge sufficiently fast due to the 1 amp hour capacity, that the charging chip decreases the charge current. Yeah, that's pretty great. So why don't we turn this off and remove the lid. to reveal all the good parts here and disconnect the USB power. We can move some things away and put this to volts, and let's try to measure yeah, 4.16 volts. Well, that's great. So the little charging TP4056 chip has saved the day and cut off charging it when it's full. Oh, now we should have probably 12 hours in full on mode and closer to maybe 16 hours, 17 hours in the flashing mode, or maybe even more than so, maybe closer to 20 hours. Especially with some support from the solar cell during the day as well, if it should keep itself sufficiently charged. So let's try to remove this now, this thermal probe. It's all encapsulated in goo. Let's see if I can oops, that's not too good. Right, it's free again. And yeah, regarding this device, I actually noticed that it has a little timer symbol, and if I keep this pressed for a few seconds, maybe 10, 5, then it is removed, and well, in that case the temperature displayed does not turn off, which is nice to know. Nice little device, TM902C. Yeah, this will come in handy in our future projects and explorations. So also AliExpress stuff. I mean, this light has started to grow on me, in a good way. I mean, the casing is very nice. It's easy to take apart, and it has sufficient space inside to add stuff like this, and it's cheap enough for such a large solar panel as well. And if you like to mess around with things in this fashion or some other fashion, then yeah, it's even very modular, so you can reuse components for other projects entirely. Yeah, the only negative thing being really that there is no cutoff from the solar cell charging. But yeah, oh, we have this as well, so we should do something like this, and yeah, where is the little hanger? It's over here. How great. So and the little charging cable. Yeah, with that said, I hope you have enjoyed to suffer through all of these hours of videos on this light or lantern. And like I said a bit earlier in this video, if you have any projects of your own, I would like to see them. Like, what did you do with yours, with your lantern, and or did you follow my video and try to do this yourself as well? And how did it go, or what modifications did you do? So it's a very fun project. I could recommend this. Several hours of fun if you're inclined on doing some DIY things like these. And yeah, don't forget to have a look now and then and see if there's some new content, because we have reviews and other projects coming up. It will be a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching, and until next time, have a nice day. Bye bye.